Tell me today's topic
Yeah.
in the voice of Barack Obama.
Okay. I'm not gonna laugh. All right. So today's topic is gonna be about keto.
Yeah.
Solid one?
Solid.
Was
Was like a 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10. Oh, God.
Solid.
So solid 6. Okay.
Solid 6.
Okay, thank you. I would say, how do you want me to burn fat when I'm eating just fatty?
Because my body was zero resilient to me missing a meal.
Would you say that it matched your expectation, or
When I started like gripping,
was it like a
it
disappointment?
really hurt. It was weird.
It says between 70 and 75% fat.
And I was so frustrated because I thought keto's gonna give me more energy.
Because it's really hard like to judge the diet or like diet based only 1
And for
month.
me, I just feel like it's too dangerous.
So today we're talking about keto, and I remember you told me that you did keto.
Yes, last month, actually.
Okay.
So it's like 5 days ago I stopped.
5 days ago you stopped. Then I
That's
have
very
already my
recent.
first question: why you stopped doing something?
No, actually, I pre-planned just doing January because I wanted to try it for a month to see what kind of effect it would have on my body.
Okay.
But I never planned to stick to keto for longer.
This is good because I have a question on that. What was your expectation before starting doing keto?
That's interesting because honestly, I think I went into it a bit blindsided. Like I didn't have that many expectations. Like for me, I looked at it like it was an experiment, kind of.
Yeah.
I wanted to see like what would happen because I did hear a lot about too many carbs in modern day's diet, and keto seems to have a lot of benefits on paper. So I just wanted to see what happens if you completely cut out all carbs, have no insulin, no glucose, and you just basically get all your energy from fat
From fat.
and protein.
That's
But to be fair, I was not super strict.
you weren't super.
I was
strict,
like I was strict in the sense that I set myself rules and I stuck to these rules. But if you do really strict keto, it's like 15 grams of carbs per day, I think. And I did like a light version where it's more like 50 grams
50.
of carbs per day. I think most days I was actually under that, but generally like that was my rule. So it was not very strict.
That's interesting because from what I saw about the facts of keto, strict in carbs, they say it's about 20 and 50 grams a day. Would you agree on that?
What do you mean?
Strict in carbs
Strict?
for keto, yeah. I mean, cutting carbs, like having an amount of between 20 grams and 50. Would you agree on that? Because you told me that you had like 50 grams of carbs every day.
That was my target. Or like not my target, it was my limit, I would say.
Okay. So let me check some interesting facts about keto with you.
All right, yeah.
Are you up for that?
I'm down.
Okay. So would you agree with carbs between 20 and 50 grams a day?
That I did that? You mean?
No. That's what I found actually.
But what do you mean agree?
Do you think that's too much? That's too low? What would be the ideal? What would be the ideal? Yeah.
Ideal keto?
Yeah. For you.
I think the way I did it was the ideal one.
Okay.
Like the upper end, I think, is the more realistic one. Because what I noticed is if you go below that, if you like really try to hit the 20 gram mark, for example, you're going to be so restricted in what you eat because like even vegetables, right? Even vegetables will have like anything between 3 and 4 grams of my dishwasher. I love this dishwasher, by the way, because it does that. It does like it opens automatically.
Okay.
So
I so didn't expect that.
It's okay.
I mean, this happened because we were filming in the kitchen. That's why.
Yeah.
Yes. Limited budget. Sorry.
Don't say that.
Yeah, don't. But I'm trying to get some funding.
No, so what I noticed is that it's like almost impossible, because even veggies have like 3 to 4 grams of carbs. What are you going to eat, right? You can only eat cheese and meat at that point. Yeah, and eggs.
I mean, how much does a broccoli has like carbs?
Like 3 grams.
3 grams. Okay, well, potatoes. I think much more.
Potatoes, definitely, yeah.
Okay.
I think the lowest you can go is maybe like salad, but that's just fiber, right?
Okay, interesting. Let's move to the second fact I found. Keto is fat-driven. You agree on that, definitely? And it says between 70 and 75% fat.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess.
So you have 70 to 75% fat and 20 to 20% protein.
Yeah. I think actually that kind of sounds like what I did, I feel like. Because I ate a lot of cheese and oil. But I also ate a lot of fiber. I don't know, is this relative to like the calorie intake? Because like the fiber doesn't really give you any energy. So I guess it's like, if you look at the energy, I think for me it was like 70% probably fat.
Okay.
If you look at the total macros, the nutrition, I think I ate quite a lot of fiber as well. So I don't think I would hit 70% then.
Okay. That's good. Yeah. But don't you think it's too little, the protein?
The protein?
Percentage? What do you think on
that? I think I ate more protein during keto than I did before.
Because what I found out, they say like when you consume too much protein, it can actually kick you out of the ketosis. Can you explain us ketosis, for example, for the people that first time they hear this?
All right, I'm gonna try my best.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
So how I understood it is, your body can either run on glucose, which you get from carbs and sugar, or your body can run on fat. Which in that case means the body starts burning ketones. That's why you call it that. So per default, if you eat carbs, your body is probably going to rely on the glucose part for your energy, because it's very easy energy. And the theory of keto is you take out all the carbs, so your body is sort of forced to switch into the ketone burning part.
Keto burning. This is called the ketosis.
The ketosis.
Ketosis.
So after, I think, 2 to 3 days, you enter ketosis, because the body needs a while to adjust to the new nutritional circumstances, right? So that's why it takes a little bit of time, and then you enter ketosis, which means your body starts relying on fat for its energy.
Okay.
And what you hope to achieve with that is, I think, a couple of things. So the first thing is insulin resistance. Because if you eat a lot of sugar and regularly eat sugar and have these glucose spikes, which means you're also going to have insulin spikes, at some point your cells are going to start building an insulin resistance, like slowly. And if it's like very extreme, at some point it can lead to diabetes. And doing keto can sort of reset, at least from what I've heard, reset this resistance.
Oh, that's interesting.
If it worked, I don't know. How would that feel? I don't really know. But that's the theory.
Okay. Interesting fact.
And because that was the first benefit, right? The second benefit is people say ketones is a cleaner energy source for your body. It's like the healthier energy in a sense. It gives you more energy for less waste, like broadly speaking. And the third one is, in theory, if you enter ketosis, you're going to start burning off your own body fat. Because you have a lot of visceral fat, right? If you consume too much energy, too much glucose, and your body doesn't know what to do with it, it's going to store it in the form of glucose. If you're in ketosis, your body, when it needs energy and it can't get it from food because you're not eating all the time, it will probably start breaking down this visceral fat. That's the theory.
But that's the point. This is interesting what you said. First, thank you for this explanation. It was really informative.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to say is that most of the audience that would hear us, they would say, how do you want me to burn fat when I'm eating just fatty thing? What would you say to these people? Because they're right if they say so.
Yeah, it sounds super counterintuitive,
exactly.
Right?
So you want me to burn fat and you tell me like to eat cheese, and cheese had a lot of fat? I mean,
yeah, I think for me, that was also so counterintuitive, and I still don't quite get all the biological processes. But I think in the end, the explanation I kind of set with was the fat you eat is not gonna stay like fat and gonna be used as fat in your body, right? Your body's gonna break it down, use it as energy. So I think the body fat that your body uses for storage and the fat you consume are somewhat different fats
than the one that you get from glucose.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Okay.
So I don't fully understand the biological process, but I think it's kind of decoupled, right?
Okay.
It's not like eating fat leads to more fat. It's more like eating fat is a source of energy. Of course, if you overeat on fat, if you have way too many calories, your body's gonna use that extra energy and gonna turn it into fat again, I guess.
Interesting that you said that, because many people often misunderstand keto and they think they can eat as much fat as they want. So there is a certain limit. You need to be aware of the calories intake you have. So you have to kind of restrict your calories intake during the day, right?
That's the thing.
Okay.
When I started, I didn't, like I said, I went into it a bit blindsided, and I didn't quite know what to eat in the beginning.
Really?
Because I looked at all the foods in the grocery store, and I always looked at the carbs, and I knew what I couldn't eat, but I haven't quite figured out yet what I could eat.
Okay.
And so in the beginning, I just didn't eat enough. I had like a caloric deficit.
Okay.
And the effect that had on me was that I was just constantly tired.
Really? Okay.
I was constantly tired. And okay, I don't want to completely blame this on the caloric deficit, because it takes a while for the body to adjust. So in the beginning, you're probably going to have symptoms like that you're tired. But what I also noticed is my body was zero resilient to me missing a meal. Like before keto.
Okay. You were craving.
No. Before keto, when I didn't eat anything until 6 p.m., okay. Right? Busy day. I didn't get to it. It was kind of fine. I mean, I could feel I'm hungry and maybe my mood would shift a little, but other than that, I had energy. I was fine. During keto, if I was having my lunch 1 hour late, man, I would start shaking.
Really?
Like, yeah. My body was not having it.
But is that in the beginning or also like during your whole time?
It went away. Like after 2 to 3 weeks, I would say it went away.
After 2 to 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like it slowly got better. And then I would say after week 3, I was completely stable. But it takes a while. Yeah. That's why I also wanted to do it for a month.
Okay.
Even though...
So that you don't get the feeling of getting like, because you say, okay, I'm going to suffer 3 weeks and the last week I'm going to just enjoy it. Because 1 month, yeah, if you say like you need 2 to 3 weeks, for me that sounds a lot. Yeah. I expected you to say like you need just 3 days.
No, it takes a while.
Wow.
And during the middle, I had like some serious side effects, and we can get into that. But I still didn't want to quit because I knew it would take a while for my body to adjust. And if I quit after week 2, I wouldn't really know what it's like to do keto, like seriously, because I would have quit during the bad part of, and maybe I didn't know yet if there is a good part, but maybe I would have missed the good part. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
What was your favorite keto dish? Did you have one?
Actually, I wrote a list because because I kind of figured it would be interesting today, and I hoped you would ask that question because
okay, that's nice.
like I've wrote down 3 dishes and then one like snack dish sort of. So what I had like every second day was I would just fry up a bunch of veggies in a pan.
Okay.
And I would just put some raclette cheese over it.
Ooh.
Man, it sounds simple, and actually it sounds very unhealthy. Like if you're not keto, that sounds super unhealthy. But if you're keto, that's like a healthy dish. And I lived off of that. It was amazing.
What kind of veggies? Because this is one of the thing I always hear about keto is that you're actually not that allowed to like eat all veggies. You know, not all veggies are allowed to be in the keto diet.
So for all the veggies that I ate, I always tried to look at the nutrition of the macros to see if like how many carbs there are. So I think all of the veggies I ate were between 3 and 5 grams of carbs per 100 grams. So I had a lot of broccoli. I had a lot of cauliflower, carrots. Actually, I expected carrots to have a lot of carbs, but
how much? I don't know that.
I thought it's gonna be like a potato, basically.
No.
That's what I initially thought, but it's not. It's like 3 or 4 grams. It's like
4.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Wow.
I thought it was gonna be worse. Spinach, but that's actually a different dish because I also oftentimes instead of putting cheese on my veggies, I would do like a spinach mozzarella sauce.
Oh.
That shit's good. Oh. I gotta do that again, even though I'm not keto anymore. I think these were mostly my go-to veggies. Mushrooms. I love mushrooms as well.
Okay. Yeah. How much does it have? I think that mushrooms has.
No, actually, mushroom is so much protein.
Really?
Yeah, mushroom is like meat, basically. It's like plant meat.
Damn, okay. Cool. And how long does that dish took you to prepare? Was it fast?
I was efficient, yeah, man. It was like 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
But that was a big priority for me because in the beginning I didn't want to do keto. Maybe I should say this. The reason I did keto was because my girlfriend already did keto last year in January, and this year she asked me if I want to do it with her. And at the beginning I was like, no, I can't. Like I work like full time. Yeah. I cannot do keto during my lunch break. Like it's impossible. Like I cannot go to the supermarket and just buy my lunch. And I also don't have the time to cook every day, which was true. I didn't have time for that every day. But that's why it was really important for me for the dishes to be fast.
Okay.
So that's why I always settled on like these veggie with cheese kind of dishes because you just fry up the veggies. It takes 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's not.
And then you put some cheese on it, melts, you're done. And one dish which I discovered towards the end. Do you know shirataki noodles?
Whoa, that shit was too fast. What did you say?
Shirataki. Yeah. Shirataki. I think it's a Japanese originally.
It sounds so. It sounds shirataki. Okay.
So apparently this is a noodle made from the cognac plant.
Cognac is. And cognac has so little calories.
That's the thing. These noodles, they have like no carbs, no fat, no fiber, or like a little bit of fiber,
it's like a cheat
no protein.
Code.
It's like, I don't know, you buy a pack of 400 grams and it has like 50 calories. Like it's ridiculous.
Really? Oh yeah, I didn't know that low. Crazy.
I also don't want to lie. I'm not quite sure if it's really 50, but it's very low. I was surprised. And I ate these noodles as if they were pasta.
Was it? Okay.
And what do you want to ask?
Was it that good? Be honest. On a scale 1 to 10, come on.
That's the thing. I didn't do it for so long because I always thought if I'm going to do like a spaghetti bolognese, these noodles are not going to taste good. Yeah. Because they look like rice noodles, like translucent noodles, right? They're not going to taste like pasta. But I was surprised, man.
Really?
I was really surprised.
It was good.
It was good. I promise you, these noodles slap.
I'm gonna try that.
They don't have any taste, right? They're just filler. They're just
okay. They don't have any taste, but they're tasteful.
No, because you just use them for the sauce.
Okay. So it just gives some texture.
Yeah, they just carry the sauce. That's all, and they have good texture. Exactly.
Okay.
So it works kind of because I mean, probably if you're Italian, you care more about the noodle part of your pasta, is what I've heard.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't be happy with this. Most definitely. But I think, and I will not continue eating these noodles with my bolognese sauce. But for being keto, it was a very nice dish.
Okay.
And of course, you're gonna put tons of Parmesan on it because
Parmigiano, which is, by the way, the one that has the highest protein.
Yeah, that cheese has so much protein,
but it's too salty. It is.
But salty is good when you do keto.
Yeah, but don't you think there is this? I mean, it depends on your age. But don't you think there is this risk of having cholesterol?
But that cholesterol has to do with fat.
With fat, yeah. I mean, all cheese have fat, and it has a lot of salt. And
does the salt have an influence on cholesterol?
I'm not sure of that. I think fat has definitely effect on cholesterol. But like salt, if you eat too salty, it has effect on your... How to say it? There is a term for that.
I think if you eat too much salt, not doing keto, there is a negative effect. I also don't quite know what it is, because salt also drains a lot of water, I think. But and maybe this is the point where I get into my really bad experience.
Okay.
Or is it too early?
No. That was this question. Share some difficulties you faced while doing keto.
All right. Yeah. So let me share some difficulties I faced while doing keto. After like week 2, I had some really weird symptoms.
Okay.
Like I got cramps. I think that was the first symptom from the beginning almost, like after a couple of days, I could really feel my heartbeat sometimes. Not like it's a skipping beat, but like I could really feel it. You know, it's a weird feeling. It's like it's pumping more. I don't know.
Sound like someone's gonna have a heart attack. That's what they usually say.
But it's not racing. It's not skipping a beat. It's just very intense. You feel it. I don't know. That was the first thing, but I heard that's normal in the beginning because your body has to adjust. And so then I got some cramps in my leg and
calves. On your calves?
Yeah, on the calves.
Okay.
And
I think I get that. But I get that when I'm dehydrated.
Yeah, that can be a reason. So, and sometimes I get that even when I'm not doing keto, so I wasn't thinking too much about it, but it was a bit weird. Then after like 2 weeks, I started having a headache. And it didn't really go away for like 2 days. And I gotta say, I never have headaches that last for a long time. Like if I'm hungover, then I have a headache that lasts for a day. And if I'm sick, maybe I have a headache that lasts for a day. But for me to just... without a reason have a headache for 2 days is very unusual. Like for me it was unusual. And then on day 2 of my headache, my knuckles on my fingers started hurting. Like I couldn't, when I put stress on them, when I started like gripping stuff, it really hurt. It was weird. So I started like investigating this. Okay, something's going on. What's going on? So I did some research and I came to the conclusion that I most definitely had a sodium deficit.
Okay.
Sodium is basically salt, right? Yeah. That's how the body gets it. And if you don't have enough electrolytes, sodium is one of the electrolytes, it can have all of these effects that I just described. I think the cramps are actually usually magnesium, but all the other effects, they usually come when you have sodium deficit.
That's interesting.
And when I researched it, I found out this can be very dangerous. Like, because your heart uses sodium as well to like keep a steady heartbeat.
Yeah.
And if you have a sodium deficit or electrolyte deficit, that can, if you don't do anything against it fast enough, or if you ignore it for too long, you can get chronic like arrhythmia for your heart, right? That kind of stuff. I don't think after 2 weeks, probably not even after a month, I don't know how fast that works, but if you ignore it, it's a risk, right? So it kind of scared me. So I really started looking at my diet. I was like, okay, how do I get as much salt as possible in my diet?
That's great. That's counterintuitive, because I think there's so much salt in keto diet, and now they told me that you have a salt deficit.
You know why?
Yeah, I mean,
when your liver is responsible for keeping the electrolytes in your body.
I thought you told me when you're a liver, when you leave. Sorry.
So your liver is the one responsible for keeping electrolytes in your body. So you consume them, electrolytes pass through your liver, and your liver is like, okay, you can stay or you need to go.
Yeah.
And the way the liver knows how much electrolytes it's going to take is based on insulin. So insulin signals the liver to keep electrolytes in the body, which means no carbs, no glucose, no insulin.
So
liver dumps all the electrolytes, which means you consume so much salt and electrolytes, but you're not keeping them. So they also can't harm your body if you're not going to have too many, but you're going to have not enough.
Yeah.
You're going to have, if you're not careful, you're going to get an electrolyte deficiency. That's what happened to me.
So what did you do?
So I started adjusting my diet. I had like more salty ingredients like feta, cheese. Spinach also has Parmigiano. Spinach has a lot of electrolytes as well.
Oh, okay.
I just salted my food more. Actually, the day that I noticed, like with the headache, that I noticed that I have this deficit, I drank a whole glass of salt water. Like I put so much salt in there. It was disgusting. Like I do not recommend anybody do this. But it helped.
Really, it helped.
Because the funny thing about electrolyte deficits is your body doesn't really store electrolytes, at least not long term or not even midterm. So if you're not going to consume enough electrolytes, it's going to be really fast for the body to get a deficit. But it's also really fast to get rid of the deficit. So when I drank the glass of salt water, I basically got rid of my deficit all at once. It was very disgusting, and it probably wasn't good for my stomach because it's like so salty. But my headache went away. My symptoms went away like the next day.
The next day?
Like the knuckles and everything. Like I was fine so after that. And then I adjusted my diet, like with the spinach, feta, all the salt. And then I was fine. And then I could actually experience what it's like to have a healthy keto, I would say.
Okay.
So that was my experience, and that's why salt is definitely a good case when you do keto. Salt and a lot of water.
I still need to see about the salt, like what are the negative effects, because I remember like it increases the tension of some of your, I don't know, veins or something like that.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, for example, my parents, they really pay attention a lot to salt. They don't eat salty at all.
I mean, I can imagine if you don't have enough salt in your body and your heart like develops problems because of that, maybe it also goes the other way. Like you have too much salt in your blood, and suddenly the heart is like overwhelmed with all the electrolytes and all the electric potential, which could throw off something, maybe high blood pressure, something like that. But I don't know. It's interesting. Should look into that.
We were talking about the expectation you had for keto. Would you say that it matched your expectation, or was it like a disappointment? Or
it was
disappointment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I expected keto to give me more energy. Like I said, okay, I didn't have expectations, but I looked into it, and in theory it says if you burn ketones, you're probably gonna have more energy, and like throughout the day you're just gonna have more sustained energy. And in the very beginning I didn't have any of that, but I thought that's just my body is adapting, so I don't have that much energy. But even towards the end, even though I did have a stable supply of energy for everyday activities, what I didn't have anymore was sustained energy for my workouts.
Oh yeah, okay.
And you told me about this as well, right? Because you did keto once in like
not
long time
keto,
ago.
But like I cut a lot.
Low carb.
Low carb.
Like a while ago.
Yeah.
And I also looked into this. And it also has to do with, not directly the liver, but something that is stored in or around the liver, which is glycogen. Yeah. Glycogen is like a stable form of glucose, like a storage form of glucose, right? And the body uses glycogen when it needs a lot of energy fast and it doesn't have enough glucose to like sustain the load. So if you do a workout, your body's usually going to rely on glycogen to
going to request a lot.
Because it takes so much energy and you're probably not going to have enough glucose in your blood. And burning fat takes a long time, so you use glycogen because it's like very fast to use glycogen, but it's a stored form. If you don't have glucose because you don't eat any carbs, you're also going to have way less glycogen. And I noticed that. Like my workouts went worse and worse throughout my month. Like every morning I do like a 10-minute workout. And
was it like cardio or like weight training?
It's usually like some sit-ups, some pull-ups.
But you felt
push-ups.
Always exhausted doing it, right?
The thing is, I could do less repeats than usually. That was the first thing. And then once my body was drained, like once I did pull-ups, for example, and my body was drained from the pull-ups, I couldn't like wait 30 seconds or a minute and then do the next exercise. My body was just done after that.
Okay.
Right. I tried to do like push-ups after that and I did like 5 and was like, okay, I don't have any energy anymore. It's not even my muscles being strained or exhausted.
No,
it's just no energy. It's no energy. And it was so frustrating because I thought keto is going to give me more energy.
But don't you think now it's more because maybe you didn't let enough time for keto to give its like potential, or like
you're saying I should do 2 months next time?
I don't know, maybe 6 months. I don't know. It's just maybe you should have been more patient, or
maybe. I mean, it is a thought I'm also having,
because it's really hard like to judge a diet or like a diet based only 1 month, you know.
It is, especially since only until the very end I felt like I was being stable energy-wise. But man, I feel like...
You didn't like it.
I mean, on paper, if you look at the science, it makes sense that I had no energy, right? And I didn't really read anywhere what would happen after 2 or 3 months that would change any of this. Like, why would the body suddenly start producing glycogen again if there's no glucose, right? Like, where would it come from? Even like, I don't know, like even if you have sustained energy through fat, no glycogen, right? So that's the one thing. And the next thing is, man, for me, I just feel like it's too dangerous.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I was just not doing it right. Most likely I was not completely doing it right. But I feel like if you do keto wrong, you can really break something. And I feel like you can break it fairly quickly.
Oh.
Right? Like the chronic arrhythmia. It's like it's a risk. It's not like you're definitely gonna get chronic arrhythmia if you do keto for 6 months. But if you don't do it right, there's a risk. And I feel like, okay, any diet has a risk, but like keto is a bit extreme in that there's a lot you can do wrong. And the effects are very fast, I feel like.
So don't you think it would be like much wiser and much more careful if you have like a nutritionist that can advise you what you have to do? You need like to go to the doctor and see with them, do some tests. It's not something you can do alone.
If you do that, then man, go ahead. Probably keto could be great. Maybe.
Great for what? What would be like for you, like the principal reasons? I think because people, if they're going to watch this episode, they're going to say, yeah, but am I going to lose weight? You know, that is the obsession of most of the people.
Yeah.
Am I going to look good? Is my skin going to be better? You know?
I think you can lose weight.
Did you lose weight?
I think in the first 1 or 2 weeks, like I don't measure my weight. Because I think it's useless, but I could definitely see it in the mirror that my body was getting a bit more defined. But it also stopped after week 2 or like week 1 even.
Okay.
Like very quickly, it got more defined and then it plateaued. And probably that was because in the beginning I didn't eat enough, right? So maybe it just got more defined because I had a caloric deficit and not really because of keto. So I don't know. And then I started eating right, and then suddenly the benefits went away. So
Okay. What is like the most surprising fact you found about keto you didn't know before?
The most surprising thing to me is how different the effects could be on different people.
Okay.
Because this is something interesting. I told you I did this together with my girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
She had a completely different experience.
Is she still doing keto?
No, she's also just doing it for 1 month.
Okay.
And I think she wants to do this yearly. So last year she did it, this year she did it, and I did it with her. Next year I'm not going to do it with her probably if she does it. But for her it was like in the beginning, she told me that it had an influence on her mood generally. I think this is the same as for me. Like I had less energy. For her was probably like also less energy maybe, and like a mood shift. But after like 1 or 2 weeks, for her to completely changed. Suddenly her mood was better than before keto.
Okay.
And she had more energy. She slept better. Like she had all these benefits. And for her, it was also the perfect lifestyle because she had exams, like during the keto time, or like she was preparing for exams. And doing keto has the big benefit of, it sounds funny, but you thinking less about food.
Really?
Because it sounds really, because you're so
you're not excited to eat, maybe.
Kind of. No, it's because, of course, you're thinking about food because you have to be careful what you eat. But since you're so restricted in what you can eat, there's less choice. And at some point you settle with your like 4 or 5 dishes that you just rotate. It doesn't really take any mental effort. Plus, if you find dishes that are very easy to prepare, it just takes the whole food hassle out of your life.
Yeah, that desire.
And that's very practical if you don't want to spend a lot of time on food, right? But it also, for me, and I think a little bit also for her, took away the joy of food.
Oh.
Because, man, food can be so great, but if you're so restricted, like, I love cooking, right? I really love cooking. And sometimes I just love to cook if I'm like stressed or I need like some relief. But man, if you have like 5 dishes you can make, it's no fun, right? Yeah. You cannot play around. There's like no freedom, and there's no fun in it. But at least if you're stressed, for her it was great during that time. So she had all these positive effects. Like, she was very surprised when I told her, like, man, I think I really don't like keto. Really? She was like, really? Like, I feel great. Like, I sleep better. My mood is great. It's so funny. And she was like more concentrated even when studying.
Okay. Don't you think maybe she did something you didn't do? Maybe she did something differently? Maybe the timing of her workout was different. Maybe, I don't know, she had like a different recipes, or were you eating together?
We ate a lot together. And I think we mostly did everything the same. Maybe I was a little bit more strict, but I think mostly it just has a different effect on different people depending on preconditions. For example, what I've heard and what she also told me, because she studies psychology, and I don't know if they talked about keto in uni, but whatever. If you have ADHD, keto can actually have a similar effect, and I think for depression as well, as certain medication against that.
Okay. I mean, you can also have ADHD and be depressed. So.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying like for both of these conditions, from what I've heard, and I don't know exactly why, like I didn't look further into it, but from what I've heard, it can have a similar effect as taking medication against it, which is interesting
That's great.
Because in that case, if you're depressed, for example, and you have very low energy by default, and then you do keto, then I can really see, okay, now you have more energy. Yeah. Then it's a great diet if you do it right. But for me, I think my baseline energy is not super low. And doing keto, in the end, I got the same baseline energy, but I lost my workout energy. So it was a bad trade, a bad deal.
It wasn't worth it for you.
It wasn't worth it for me. But I think it really depends on your preconditions. Like, how is your baseline energy? Like, what mental, maybe do you have any mental problems or like psychological? I don't know. Like, there's a bunch of stuff. And I think keto is still, there's not that much science on it being done. I feel like all the science is very contradictory. So there's a lot to learn still. But it's what became clear for me is that it has massively different effects on people. And I just saw it because my girlfriend had completely different experience.
So you think, I don't know, there are people that are predisposed to do keto and it's going to work on them. And there are people that just, I don't know, they just don't have fun doing this stuff.
I think so.
So who would be like, for example, who you think is the perfect target group for keto?
Ooh.
You can also say that illness. I don't know, diabetes, ADHD people.
Oh yeah, I think I think we have to be a bit. We have to separate short-term keto and long-term keto, because for long-term keto, like, you really can't tell you. Like, first of all, I didn't do it long enough. Second of all, the effects are so different for people. Like, I don't know what long-term effects it has. And I don't even know, like, for how long can you really sustain it if you do it properly. So, I don't know. Long-term, very hard to say. Short-term, it is known to have a positive effect on people with diabetes, for example.
Yeah, I've heard that, yeah.
Because if you have
diabetes too,
type 2 diabetes and you have, like, a insulin resistance, it can help to fight that. So in that case, sure, but don't take it from me. Take it from a doctor.
Yeah, definitely.
But sure, I think there's nothing wrong with trying it. I feel like.
Okay.
I think with any diet, not any diet, but like with any reasonable diet, it's good to just try it. For me, that's like kind of what I liked about this experiment. It's just trying something, in a sense, very radical, and seeing what effect it has on the body. And the cool thing about it is, I don't know if it's for any diet, but for keto, the cool thing about it is you're gonna see changes in your body very quickly.
Okay, like you feel the shift.
The shift, exactly. And it's so interesting to see and to feel. Because, for example, if you have a deficiency, usually that builds up over years. Right? Yeah. Vitamin D, for example. Most people have vitamin D deficiencies, but it takes a long time until you reach like iron deficiency. And when you are at that point where the doctor tells you have this deficiency, you're like, okay, what did I do wrong the last 3 years?
Everything.
Right? But it's like very abstract. It's very hard to grasp. Like, what was the issue? You do keto, 2 weeks, not eating enough electrolytes, man, you feel the headache, you feel the cramps, you feel your heart beating. You're like, damn, like this is a
why am I
fast
doing this?
effect, right?
Oh, okay.
I can, but it's interesting to see after, like, to finally see that a diet actually has an impact. Yeah. It's so weird, but like, everybody always tells you all kinds of diet tips, but you never, like, you change something in your diet and you never really feel a difference, or like most times you don't really feel a difference. But trying something so radical, I feel like
it's still worth it. You think it's still worth like the shot?
Yes, and and it sort of changed my perception of nutrition as well, because I could finally get a grasp on, damn, this really has an effect on my body, and it can have an effect fast, right?
Yeah.
And it was interesting to see. And it kind of motivated me to keep on trying to feed my body good food and like to improve my nutrition, because I could finally feel the impact it has directly and not just on paper or because somebody told me.
Okay.
And I think that's why it has a big benefit, but it doesn't need to be keto, probably. I haven't tried I haven't tried any other extreme diets yet. Like gluten-free I tried for like 2 or 3 months a while back, but that's not really an extreme diet, depending on how strict you are. If you're very strict, it's an extreme diet, but anyways, different topic. I haven't tried any extreme diets other than keto, but I can imagine like any extreme diet sort of has that effect on you, that you're gonna feel like the results of that diet very quickly, and it's probably gonna change your perception of like how reactive your body actually is to your nutrition.
Okay. It brings me to a very important question, maybe for the people that would watch this episode. Convince me or not to switch to keto.
Don't.
Simple.
Don't switch to keto, man.
Simple.
Try it, but don't switch.
But would you consider like giving keto another chance for a longer period or not? You don't think you can do that thing more than 1 month?
I think if I have more time, and if I maybe also... Damn, keto is expensive, man.
Oh, okay.
Keto is very expensive because carbs are the cheapest foods. It's like staple foods are very cheap. So if I have the money, if I have the time, then I could see myself trying it again, but then I would really want to do everything right. Like then I would really want to do a meal plan. I would want to count every macro, do it exactly right for like 2 or 3 months and see what effect it would have. But like right now, I don't have the time for that. Okay. And I think if you're not doing it right, or at least if I'm not doing it right, for me, it wouldn't be worth it, or it would be too risky as well.
Mm-hmm. So you're kind of missing out all the benefits from it if you're not doing it right.
Yeah, and you're taking a lot of risk. I feel like I felt it in my body that I felt very unhealthy for the first 2 to 3 weeks.
But like you said, it's expensive. How expensive? I mean, how would you say, like, did your budget doubled?
Yeah, I think
food?
Yeah, it doubled, I would say.
But I think you wouldn't eat outside.
Yeah, if you eat outside, I mean, if you eat outside a lot and then you switch to keto and then you always cook, then probably it's going to be cheaper.
Yeah.
But comparing apples to apples here, if you cook at home and in one scenario, you're going to buy noodles and rice and potatoes, which are very cheap.
Yeah.
And on the other side, you're going to buy cheese and tofu and more expensive cheeses like feta cheese and then all kinds of yogurts and vegetables. Vegetables are also expensive, right? Mm-hmm. And you need protein, which means probably also going to buy, if you're not a vegetarian, you're going to buy meat or like some seafood. All of that, very expensive. And you're going to eat twice the amount of all of that because you're not going to have any staple food. So if I usually cook like some rice with veggies and some sauce, and I leave out the rice, then I'm gonna eat twice the amount of veggies, and it's gonna cost twice as much money because the rice is the cheap part, and it's the part that actually fills me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. I think we're done.
We're done?
Are we done?
Should I press record then?
Oh no.